People say a mother's love is unconditional, but what happens when your own child turns that love into a weapon? For 30 years, I raised my son with every ounce of love in my soul. I worked 2 jobs, skipped vacations, and even sold my wedding ring after his father passed, just to keep food on the table and a roof over our heads. That very roof, my home, was built with tears, sacrifices, and sleepless nights. I never imagined the day would come when that very son would drag me to court, demanding the deed to the only thing I truly had left. He called it rightful inheritance. I called it betrayal. And what he didn't know was that I wasn't the fragile old woman he thought I was. I had one move left, and I was going to use it. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because you don't want to miss what happens next. Trust me, this gets incredible. It started with a knock, sharp, official, cold. I opened the door to find a man in a navy suit, envelope in hand, eyes avoiding mine. "Mrs. Jean Carter?" he asked, already knowing the answer. I nodded slowly, wiping my hands on my apron. The smell of fresh cornbread still lingered in the hallway. "You've been served." I froze. "Served?" He handed me the thick envelope and walked away without another word. My hands trembled as I peeled it open. What I saw nearly made me drop to the floor. Petition for property ownership dispute filed by Nathaniel Carter. My son. My own flesh and blood. Taking me to court, over my house. The same house where he took his first steps. The same front porch where he cried after his first heartbreak. The same kitchen where I stayed up late nursing him through fevers and teenage angst. He wanted it. All of it. And if he thought I was going to just hand it over, he was about to learn exactly what kind of woman raised him. I didn't call him. I didn't cry. I sat in that living room with the worn couch and the creaky floorboards and stared at every memory glued to those walls. Nathaniel thought this was just a property. He'd forgotten what made it ours. He'd become someone I didn't recognize, corporate, cold, and driven by entitlement. The court date was set for 4 weeks later. I knew I needed a lawyer. But not just any lawyer. I called her. "Miss Wilson, it's Jean. I need your help." Elaine Wilson was a young black woman I used to babysit when her mom worked nights. She became the first lawyer in our neighborhood. When she answered, she didn't ask questions, she just said, "I'll be there in 10 minutes." When the day came, the courtroom was silent as I walked in arm with Elaine, who wore her best navy pantsuit and confidence like armor. Nathaniel was already seated with his high-priced lawyer. He didn't look at me. The judge called the case. Nathaniel's lawyer stood. "Your Honor, my client is simply trying to claim what is legally his rightful inheritance. Mrs. Carter is elderly and the home, we believe, is best transferred now before complications arise." He said it so smoothly, like I was just some forgetful woman in decline. But when Elaine stood, she handed the judge a folder that changed everything. "Your Honor, this home was purchased solely by Mrs. Carter after the passing of her husband. There is no will naming Mr. Carter as inheritor. And more importantly," she turned to the court, "we have documentation that Mrs. Carter transferred ownership of the home into a living trust 5 years ago, ensuring it can never be taken from her while she's alive." Nathaniel flinched. He didn't know. I'd done it after he started talking about investments and asking if I'd ever thought about moving to a home. Elaine continued, "In fact, Your Honor, we also submit evidence that Mr. Carter has tried to coerce his mother into signing away her rights, including recorded conversations and texts." Gasps echoed. The judge's face hardened. The judge dismissed Nathaniel's petition with prejudice, meaning he couldn't refile it again. He didn't speak to me after that. Just stormed out. But a week later, I found an envelope in my mailbox. Inside, a letter. Mom, I don't even know who I became. I let greed twist me. I'm sorry. I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I want you to know I regret it. You raised me better than this. Love, Nate. I folded the letter and tucked it behind the family photo on my mantle. I hadn't decided if I'd ever respond. Some homes are made of wood and brick. But mine was built on love, sacrifice, and the lessons of a woman who learned how to protect herself, even when the danger came wearing her son's face. I didn't win to hurt him. I won to remind him, a mother may love endlessly, but she is never weak. And now, as the sun sets through the same window I've watched for 30 years, I sit with my cup of tea, proud of the house I kept, and the woman I still am.